Hello everyone, this is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard, and here I am again with another top 10 of all time, this time for the character Roy. This is a pretty interesting one to do. You would think that because Roy's not in very many games that this would be a pretty short list, but it was hard. There was a lot of really good players. Again, here's kind of my stance. I did change it to where PM would be about the same as 64 because I do think that a lot of PM was very impressive, so I definitely don't want to discount it. Tier list, Roy's been okay. I think that Roy was thought to be a very, very, very good character in Ultimate early on. It seems like there's some weaknesses of Roy. I still think Roy's very good. I mean, even at its lowest, it's A tier. Melee, Roy called having a pool noodle. Smash 4, Roy was fine. It's just like it was a lot of like straight hit stuff. A lot of stuff just didn't work out for Roy very much. While Ultimate just has so much more ability to cover so many options. Project M, Roy used to be considered to be pretty good. I think it was a little overhyped because Roy was not in Brawl. Mewtwo and Roy being the characters that were added to PM that weren't in Brawl already, along with Knuckles eventually. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Roy, I think, was overhyped, and I mean, also being a DLC character for Smash 4, there was a lot of excitement. People, it was like Mewtwo first, and then it was like what Roy, Lucas, kind of those returners and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for Melee, we don't have very much. It's just not really that popping, unfortunately. Now we have Don't Test Me. I've made a video about that already. Being Zane's alter ego. Also have like Neo as an old school Roy, but mainly went Marth. Lag is a pretty good Roy. I think Zane and Lag did like a online like Ditto money match or something like that. But there's not that many. I knew Vertex. He was really good. Shout out to Dan. He would surprise some people with his Roy, but it's tough. Not a good character. Yeah, you have like the potential to beat Puff sometimes, but it's tough. Smash 4, we had a little bit more people just trying it out. Shoutouts to Lightbrand and Monarchy. They were going Roy at my local scene. Komura Hiri, probably the best player out of all these, but mainly went Cloud. Started going Roy a little bit. That was cool. Rio and Ike main would go Roy a little bit. Manny, I think, was a Sonic. And you had a few familiar faces, Cloudy, Mugen, Goblin. You even had people from other games trying out, like Lunchables and stuff like that, Sethlon and Neo, just to say like, oh, hey, Roy's back. And then Ultimate is most of this list is going to be Ultimate. I hate to spoil it, but there's a lot of Ultimate players. Some people are higher profile than others. Spargo, one of the goats of the game, had some time going Roy. Tweak as well, even like Gluttony, trying Roy out a little bit. Some really good Japanese players. There's a lot of Roy players. MK Leo for a couple sets, Zomba, Kameme. Yeah, I've known some Roys. Roy had a lot of high profile stuff from my region, thanks to Frostbite, doing very well. He was from the border of Virginia and North Carolina. He would come to our events a lot, and then started going more to NC and eventually moved to Michigan. But he was really getting up there with Roy stuff. More recently, shouts to my guys Zukake and Brian the Diabetic, both pretty good Roy players. Brian being solo Roy, Zukake plays a ton of characters, but both doing pretty good in that. So I've gotten used to rooting for Roy in Ultimate specifically. So, and then we have a little bit of HDR and a decent amount of PM. I know I've played against Bibit a little bit, but Roy has a decent amount of people that have like tried him out. There's not a lot of solo Roys. You have like Ron Gunshu, I think his like their like third best character. DVD, really good Sheik, tried out. Imogen Heat. Lunchables. Connor was also on top 100, I believe. Lunchables and Sethlon probably being the two most well-known Roys for PM. Even like Thunder's trying it out, I think, like to Ditto, just as a joke. But yeah, people are trying out Roy. You gotta give him credit. And now we get to our HMs. I'll also pull up on the side. 1 second. Because there's a lot of people that I wanted to mention. And yeah. So, I'll kind of start from bottom to the top. Sethlon played PM, a little bit of Melee, a little bit of Smash 4 too, I guess. But the most well-known Roy in early PM. In like the early stages. And that was enough to be top 23 all time. To where it's like, I wasn't sure whether or not to put Sethlon or Connor. I think that Sethlon has that like all-time placing. I wanted to give credit there. But Connor also a really good PM Roy there. And of course we have Don't Test Me. One of the most well-known Roys in modern Smash. Technically took a game off of Aklo in a winning set, to where the first two were with Marth, and then Aklo went Link, and then Zane went Roy, and won that game. If you want to, I would give Junebug credit for like the counter picks with Ganon. So I'll give a little bit here, just enough to make it on the HM part. Also beat Zasa, really good puff from NC, Vegas Matt, aka Curve, and then Chango, which that ending was pretty crazy. To where Chango got a rest but then fell off the stage. We take those. But yeah, that was at Wave Dash 2023, I think. Also went Game 5 against Magi and S2J. Pretty impressive. TK3, really impressive early in Ultimate. To where you didn't have a ton of Roy early on, like in the high profile. Like, yeah, you had some people going it here and there. Maybe like Schroeder and Tweak and stuff like that. TK3 was like, mainly going Roy. And got some good wins. This was kind of earlier. This is like 2019, maybe like 2021, 2022. So I don't value those early wins as much as wins at like the higher upper echelon. But this is still really good. Good stuff to TK3. Yaman Action. I think coming a lot of Steve recently. But got some wins on Tama P and Ken and Proto Bantam. Proto wasn't quite as good at this point, but still really good. A nice counter pick here and there. I get multiple wins on Ken, which I'll talk about that matchup in a little bit. But and also France, they got a lot of reps on here. We got multiple wins on Gluto, Siski, and Raflo. There's a decent amount of people in Europe that have tried Roy. I know Lancelot and Leon have a bit of Roy. But yeah, here let me go ahead and pull up my my full, like, I guess HM to the HM list. But yeah, so it was pretty hard because I wanted to put Frostbite on here. I wanted to give like some of the other people a shout, but it was tough. There was a lot of people. Tweak, really close, but it was like, I don't know. I think I value a larger variety. You also had like Johnny and Giddy, aka Iconic. They both had like some top 50 wins, but I don't know. I feel like Melee Roy being so bad, I think kind of boosts Zane's wins a little bit. Yeah. Lancelot, Frostbite, Cyro, and Zozef's been on the run. Got a Syrup win recently. But I didn't think they were quite enough to get on here. Like, it felt reasonable to do like a top 20 or 25. Just because there's so many people that close together. But I've been doing 10 with 5 HMs. And so I kind of keep that pattern. But there's a lot of people I think deserve props. Either way, let's get into our top 10. We have Javi. Now, not to be confused with the other Mexican Javi that plays Melee, very weird. This is the Ultimate. Also Smash 4, but didn't play Roy in Smash 4. Played, I think, Sheik. Uh, and so Javi has been entering a lot, has a ton of tournaments entered, and actually has a pretty good recency. I think sometimes people think that like, oh, Mexico like had its kind of peak when you had like Leo and Meister, and you also had like Spargo on the up and all that. But like Mexico's still strong. We look at S Factor. Javi beat Ashimo, I believe, twice at the same tournament, or at least has 2 Ashimo wins. That's a big deal because there's a decent amount of Roys in Japan, so it's like that also. And I assume Javi has some Shoto experience, but either way, a lot of Meister wins. Not all of these were Meister was super high up there, but I mean, wins on pretty much every top Mexican player besides Spargo, and that's still pretty good. Some earlier wins like Ned and Moxie. Yeah, like a pretty good. I think that like this large amount of wins plus the Leo win and like Meister and Ashimo up there, I think are barely enough to have Javi above some of the other ones. I could see it being debatable. I think that like there's some closeness here. Either way, also won a Hooters tournament, which is actually pretty stacked. So good stuff there. And was also ranked NA, which has been less valuable recently since NA is not as good anymore. But could be going up. I think some of these Ashimo wins were this year. Yeah, so we could definitely see Javi on the up, but we'll have to see. Number 9, we got Cloudy. Also used to go by Captain Levi. Shoutouts to Attack on Titan. But now Cloudy is also from Mexico. And while I think that Javi has the better ultimate career, I think Cloudy has the better combined career. And also, since Roy is pretty bad in Smash 4, I give it, I also look at it highly, even though Smash 4, in its heyday, was, I would say, a lower overall skill than Modern Ultimate. I give it to Cloudy. It's pretty close. I think 9 and 10 are pretty interchangeable, and there's also people below that you could argue, but I'm gonna give Cloudy 9. Had some really good runs, getting a Kameme win. And Kameme, in Smash 4, he got second at an Evo. Has a ton of good wins here. Really, really good stuff. And then also Ultimate didn't have a Leo win, but has wins on a pretty similar amount of players besides that. So good stuff, Cloudy. Also technically has a higher ranking in Ultimate. I think it was I don't know if Javi just wasn't traveling very much, but 2023 was the main part to where Javi was getting ranked. So I think that Modern Ultimate is really challenging because the player base is not that small. It's still pretty popping, and there's a lot of good players. But I do give Cloudy some good recognition. These are some good wins here, especially the top few. That's a big deal. So I give Cloudy the edge. If you want to switch these two, that's fine. But I think multi-game prowess, I definitely give props to. Number 8, we got Shaw. Now, I had not really heard of Shaw, and I was like, okay, Shaw's up there on the shoe stats and all that, but how good is Shaw actually? And some of these are smaller tournaments, maybe best of 3. Either way, look, I think if people you can't use the money argument for locals and monthlies and stuff because they don't have money involved really anyway. I think that you got to give a lot of credit to these Japanese players that enter so much and they get the wins. So I'm gonna count it. And this is a big deal. Getting Mia and Shutone wins, that's a lot. Yara, Harry Poyo, Rocky, Uame, these are really good wins. And I'm like, wait, Shaw's never been ranked before? And I think the Shutone win just happened. I'm pretty sure it happened last weekend. So I'm looking for Shaw to be ranked somewhere. Newer player, hasn't gotten as many wins until recently. Japan is also super competitive right now. So maybe it just happened, or maybe they don't count as much for the tiering or whatever. But I think if you take a standard also wins and losses, I don't really take losses into account here. So maybe that's it. Maybe Shaw just has some losing records that take him down. But Either way, a ton of really good wins here. Give a lot of credit there. Have not heard much from Shaw, but I expect to hear more. I think definitely could start rising the ranks. Like once you start to get a few wins, you start to get seated higher, get more matches on stream, you get a few more, like, you know, you get into like that upper echelon where you're not playing the top seeds over and over. You're getting more chances to get deeper and deeper, and I think we could definitely see Shaw getting ranked pretty highly soon. Has a lot of good wins, and we'll see if there's consistency that follows. Number 7, another Japanese player, more known for other characters. We have Hikaru. There's the chess player. I'm not sure. I think it's Hikaru. But more known for maybe Smash 4 DK. Also has like a Luigi and Marth. I was like, wait, like Hikaru plays Roy? What? And turns out was pretty good with Roy. Has played other characters a lot. In Ultimate plays a lot of characters, switches back and forth, but has had success with Roy. Now, Akala and Mia were not as highly ranked. I think this was like 2022, 2023. A lot of this was when his Roy was happening. But that's still really good. Akala has had proven already to be pretty good. Mia was like kind of riding behind. And then you have Kameme, Ken, Tsubaki, Paizaryman, Gact. These are good wins. And getting ranked this high, I think, I think maybe if you look at Shaw, like, you know, maybe modern Ultimate's harder than this stage of Ultimate. I think that the ranking, you kind of have to just respect that. I think that's a lot. And while there are not as many wins, just because, you know, as a counterpick character, or like, you know, playing Roy in seasons and kind of just going all over the place, you gotta respect it though. I think that people trying it out, I mean, we saw that. I was going back to some older videos with like people trying out Game & Watch, people trying out, you know, sometimes Samus is a counterpick character, like stuff like that, to where you have some strong matchups, and you should definitely use those strong matchups if possible. Roy is a very aggressive character. People say that Roy always swings at ghosts, but I mean, if you can get some jairs, let's look at the terminology. You got jab back air is jair. You have jab forward smash at lower percents, Jeff smash. You have jab into side B, Jide B. You got a lot of classic ones there that are kind of, you know, kind of stupid, but funny to say sometimes. And so Hikaru, I think, had a pretty good run here. And yeah, gotta get props. Number 6. Now, I think that this is, like, Hikaru did very well, but I feel like this is a top 6 that's like super hard to distinguish. Number 1's kind of obvious, but 2 through 6, there's a lot of stuff that could happen. We have Spargo, you know, one of the GOATs of Ultimate, certainly up there, and he has used this for most of these people. I think besides Chag, I think all of them play Sonic. Roy apparently does really well against Sonic. I didn't really think so that much. I guess I don't see Sonic play very often. I don't seek it out. But he went Roy in Grands at Supernova 2024 against Sonics, and it worked. He won Game 5. I was like, what in the world? Like, this is... I don't know what it is with Supernova. We see some weird picks. But either way, got this win. Got multiple other wins. Has 5 Sonics wins. 4 against Raph. And this is very, very good. Like, you know, Ken, like, these 10 wins right here are better than a lot of people's, like, full roster. And this is with one character out of, like, I don't know, 4 or 5. I guess he's got, like, Cloud, Plant, Aegis, Roy, probably a couple others. So that's really impressive. Now, I have these asterisks to show how many characters he had kind of in front, to where the number 1 and number 5 are not necessarily as, you know, they don't mean as much as someone that's going solo Roy. So that's where I was not sure, because it's like, these are 10, and not to discount the other ones, but if you look at those 10 wins, especially the top 5, they're incredible. They're super, super good. But I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to, I think, give a little bit more props to people that have gone Roy in more matchups and picked up a larger amount of top wins. If you want to put Spargo very high, that is up to you. But I definitely think Spargo deserves to be on this list and in this upper portion of the list. But it's tough. Number 5, we got Lunchables, one of the PM goats. I think, yeah, number 6 all time. I forgot to add some of the placings. Let me do it real fast. My bad. Let's see. He got like second at Smash and Splash something. Let's say he got second at Undertow 2021. And another one he won. He won No Fun Allowed 3. Man, my typing's really bad. But yeah, we can throw some up there. I'll put this on Twitter tomorrow. But either way, Lunchables, very, very good. We have so many top wins here. I think if I think Lunchables and Spargo was really close. But, I mean, throughout so many different parts. Because we have 2016, kind of getting into the, like, yeah, you had some of the legal issues, but people were still playing it a lot. And, like, kind of as Sethlon was going down, you had Lunchables going up. Now, Lunchables goes a lot of characters. I wrote them down so I can remember. Lunchables goes Toon Link, Marth, Meta Knight in some of the later years. Also, a little bit of Sonic. A little bit of DK. We've seen a lot from Lunchables. He does not play matchups he doesn't like if he doesn't have to. But still really impressive here. 6 all-time. That's crazy. And people consider him to be a Roy main, to where I think Toon Link got a lot of stuff. He would go Marth. He also plays. I put him just as Project M. He's got a little bit of Roy, but he's pretty much a Marth main in Melee. And I mean, this sheer amount of wins, Sipmasta is so good at PM nowadays, and he got a win there. And not to say, like, he's beaten other players, but Toon Link is a good matchup check. Marth, the thing about Roy is you kind of have to let them get closer to you to get the strong hit. Marth has really good zoning with using the full extent of the sword with the tipper hitbox, while the inside hitbox for Roy, you have to be a little bit more in their face. But getting multiple Tech Boy wins, DVD, Junebug, Switch 7 times, Mr. L's, Fuzz, Boring Man, like these are crazy wins throughout his, decade-long career pretty much. Yeah, and I think that I think that him not going fully Roy, he goes Roy a lot more than Spargo did, but it kind of takes to where it's like, okay, he split between Toon Link, Marth, Meta Knight. So it's like, you get pieces of this. Either way, give a lot of credit to Lunchables. If you want to switch Lunchables down or up, that'd be fine. But being, top 10 all time, that's certainly very impressive. Even though PM, I would say, is not as high level compared to Ultimate, it's still really competitive. Like today, there's some crazy good players that still play PM. So, number 4. I think that 3 and 4 are pretty close. You can even argue here and there. Goblin. Now, Goblin played a little bit of Smash 4, but not even holding a candle to his Ultimate career. Early Ultimate, he was probably the best Roy for a little bit. And somehow he is 3-0 on Tweak. Like, Goblin fans are like, yep, he won again. I think he also beat him in a crew battle, and it was like, how is he this good against Tweak? Like, yeah, Tweak can sometimes get Shadow Realmed and sometimes have a tough time, but it was so surprising. And I mean, just the clear amounts of these good wins here. Goblin being from Florida, it used to be to where he's kind of like part of the 3-headed dragon of Southeast Roys. And by this list, I would say he's maybe the weakest of the 3, but he certainly has a good career. I think that he was a little bit more top-heavy early on. But even still, I mean, getting 24th in the world by Orion rank for the first half of the year and still getting top 100 pretty solidly there. there's a lot of wins here. Wins on Snow and T, Leaf, Fui. Like we have some like kind of out of region talent that he's beating there. Multiple against Lima, which I think that Roy Bayo is pretty good for Roy. Either way, got some win on Samsora early on. Win on Dabuz. Kameme, which apparently Roy does good against Kameme because we've seen a lot of Kameme wins here. But yeah, we don't see too many Sonic wins here, but I guess Wrath. But still, Sonic's win. Sonic's wasn't quite as good. I forgot that. But a lot of wins on the Georgia and Florida players here. Beastman Paul, Jake, Sean, yeah, Anathema. So really good stuff there. Impressive career. I think that while Goblin is borderline retired right now, I think that you got to give a lot of props to getting a ton of wins. You could argue this down, argue this up. It's really close. But yeah, I give a lot of props to Goblin. Number 3, we got Mugen, or Hyper Kirby. A very good player. Another member of the kind of the three-headed dragon of Southeast Roy's. And has a pretty good career in both Smash 4 and Ultimate. I would say definitely has a stronger Ultimate career, but got ranked in Smash 4. Got number 99 in 2017. That's a big deal. We see here you can look another Kameme win, but like multiple on Fatality, Scat, Reflex Wonder, a really good Wario at the time, Wrath, Mutace, a ton of Saw One, whoever that is, some random I think, but has a really good Smash 4 career, and then has done really well recently. I don't think left Georgia very much until like the later part, because Georgia became a pretty strong region. You know, Fatality was really good in Smash 4. A Scat was more of a Smash 4 player, but still a good win there. But yeah, just started traveling more and doing very good. Getting some of these NA ranks was like all right, but then the last like year and a half have been very strong for Mugen. 117 in the world, and then top 100, number 92 for the first half of this year. A lot of good wins here. I mean, Spargo, 24 Cola. Yeah, some of them Cola wasn't as good. Some of them, you know, like maybe locals. But dude, if you're beating a good player this many times, that's worth something. Another Ashimo win. Toon, Beast Mode Paul, Cosmos, Tilda, Jake, Fatality, Jazo. Like this is a lot of good wins. I think when you combine it together, I give it a lot of props. I think that people could argue that Goblin has a better career. I would say maybe Goblin has a better career in Ultimate. But again, I think multi-game prowess matters a lot. And I think like 3 Fatality wins is huge. Kameme win, huge. 4 Scat wins, pretty solid. I think that like when you combine these together, that is enough to be top 3. Because Smash 4 Roy was not good. So I give a lot of props here, and congrats to being top 3. Now, seconds. I did not expect to be up here. I expected, you know, probably Mugen 2, Goblin 3, this player 4th, but I looked at it. Ataru is on a roll, doing crazy stuff. Top 50 for this part of the year. First half of the year, rather. That's nuts. 4 Dormigi wins. Now, some of these when Dormigi is like top 10-ish, but that's a big deal. Akala, Tama P, 5 on Ashimo. Just like, dang, Ashimo, you gotta learn this matchup, man. But 3 on Raru, 9 on Snow, Rocky, Karage, went on Sonics, when Sonics wasn't quite as good. Just a lot. This is a crazy beating Jazo, and Jazo knows his matchup a ton. I think that's a big deal. So yeah, if you look at the rankings here, you know, top 100 2022, kind of dipped down a little bit 2023, but really strong for both parts of the year. Used to go by Alice, so people may recognize that tag as well. Not as strong in 25, but still good. I mean, just a really good career so far by rankings, and hasn't really won anything big, but has a lot of good wins here. Uh, like multiple Neo wins, level 1 mark. This is really impressive, and I think that while it's been like Roy has been very like centered around America. We have like Yamanaction, Hikaru. You got TK3. There's been some Roys, and I think that's Shaw. But Ataru has been that Japanese Roy, and it's been really impressive to see. Just as much as Roy can sometimes struggle in your combo food, and your recovery is okay, but kind of not okay. But yeah, Roy's exciting, and Ataru is one of the most exciting. Number 1, of course, Cola, aka Salt 1. He hasn't really used that, but sure, Salt 1. Legend Ghosts, Salt 1, a very young Cloud main in Smash 4, decided, hey, Hyper Kirby, Roy is so easy. Roy is so good in Ultimate. I'm going to play Roy and show you how easy this character is. And the rest was history. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. I think it is. But they have a rivalry, and Goblin's also kind of in there. Georgia's a little bit more tight-knit, but Florida, there's a decent amount of interaction there. And Cola is just crazy, man. I mean, Cola's been so exciting. I think that, like, while he was okay in the early part of Ultimate, he really started gaining traction, like, with online, and has been super good. Kind of up and down, peaking at number 13, 2022. 2024 was all right. It's been a little bit of a struggle. Recently won CEO, 3-time CEO champion. Not all of them have been that stacked, but that's still impressive. One Invitational, this was crazy. Really big deal here. One also like one of the first tournaments back from quarantine. So a ton of really good wins here. Pretty crazy. Just the amounts that even though Cola has like lost to some random characters, like Cola is a very upsettable person. I think that Roy is really good, easily comboable. Roy has to play aggressive to no projectiles. You can kind of get lamed out. Yeah. So Roy certainly has weaknesses, but I think that Cola has shown. I remember like where he almost beat MKLeo, and Leo was still like so good. Leo's not as good anymore, but still really solid. I mean, Leo has had a great year so far. But he's beaten him 4 times since then, and just a ton of good wins. Okay, Mugen has a Spargo win. Cola has 2 Spargo wins. Goblin has 3 Tweak wins, so does he, and he also has beaten Dormy, Sonic, Samba 10 times. Light 4 times. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, he's just done so much. For whatever reason, Sonic seems to be very Roy favored, or at least that Roy does well in it. I think that I don't know. I think that Sonic can like Roy's pretty fast, so it's kind of hard to play that campy style, and there's no projectiles for either character. So I feel like Roy can also kill really early, and does pretty well in that matchup. And he also has a ton of Wrath experience. With Wrath has been pretty good at certain points, and I think Cola is super fun to watch. His kind of craziness with the pop offs, and sometimes he's stoic, sometimes he's absurd, but Cola's awesome, man. I really enjoy Roy. A lot of it being from like Frostbite and like seeing some other local Roys. I'm used to rooting for Roy, and it's cool. I like the character, and even though that Roy may not be as good currently as people were hoping Roy would be, there's still a lot of meta advancements that Roy is coming with. And I think that, Roy is showing to be a strong character in certain matchups. I'm like, hey, no one's forcing you to stay. You can switch characters. And yeah, I'm excited to see Roy keep being implemented. I think that people sometimes don't like Roy, think that he's just some random old Fire Emblem character that doesn't need to be in here. But like, I think that Roy has so much identity like through Smash. Like you have like Captain Falcon, you have like the Star Fox characters, you have all these people that like Ice Climbers. It's not always super exciting, but sometimes. Like these characters that are bigger in Smash than they are in their original game. And like Roy, I haven't played much Fire Emblem. I probably should get into it, but as a Marth main, in Melee. But yeah, no, this Roy is so freaking cool. I think that while Roy can be very mashy, it's fun. I like to see Roy win. So I think it's about the same goal. I forgot to update it, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs eventually. We'll do a Roy main. There's a lot of them to choose from, but put it in the comments, and we'll try and give some revenue of this video eventually to that Roy player. And yeah, I am gonna try and continue to do these once a week. The next one, I have a 64 character that is very projectile heavy. So if you want to try and narrow that down, go for it. You can also join our Discord for a hint, or not really a hint, just to find out. And if you have any comments and disagreements, that's fine. I'm gonna try and do. It's my goal to finish the Melee roster this year, and then I'm gonna try and finish the Smash 4 and Ultimate roster, or Brawl, Smash 4, and Ultimate next year. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes it's like there being a lot of people that play the character. It makes it kind of easier because you don't have to go into the trenches to find, like, go through all the filing cabinets and stuff. But no, it's fun to do this research. Sometimes time consuming, but I like having a finished product, and you got to do the work to get the finished product. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.